interviews, top 10s, top 20s, album reviews, and more. Now here is your host, Eric.
What's up, metalheads? Here we are back again for another top 10. I'm going through the 80s. Last time I did 1980, the best hard rock, metal albums of the decade of the 80s. But I'm going to go through each year, then we're going to hit the 90s, the 2000s, and so on. Early 80s for me was like, it took me a little while to get into metal. I was always into like AC/DC. I discovered around 1980 probably. Maybe actually 79. Kiss around 78, 77 when I got the Kiss cards. But I wasn't fully into the music yet. I think I started getting into Kiss's music more around 79, 80 when Dynasty came out. Because I was just more into their image. In 1980, I was in 7th grade, and to tell you the truth, I was still like into action figures and toys and things like that. I was like, playing with He-Man and all, Planet of the Apes action figure, Star Wars, all that stuff. Atari, I was playing Atari. So music was just kind of come and go for me. And then I had a neighbor friend that his brother was in the military, and whenever he was gone, we would just like go through all of his records, and I discovered Journey, Black Sabbath, the Live Evil album. There's all these cool albums. So I got really into Journey. I was a really big Journey fan before I got really fully into metal. It was like, I think it was when I bought Metal Health for Quiet Riot. That's when I fully got into to heavy metal. But let's get right into this. We only got 10 minutes. 1981. Good albums came out around then. I wouldn't say they're as good as 1980 that I did last, but we're going to go through it. I'm going to try to keep these videos a little shorter than normal. Number 10 is Judas Priest, Point of Entry. It's a good album, I guess. I mean, obviously, Desert Plains. That's a good song. Heading Out to the Highway. Come on, you can't go wrong with that. I would just would say, it's kind of a weird record because you had British Steel. And you had this, which I feel like is kind of a clunker. And then you had Screaming for Vengeance come out right after. So it's like they kind of went up, down, and back up. Some of you might disagree with me on this album. I'm sure this might be a favorite to some of you. And while I'm doing this, think about your list. I want to hear your top 10 as well. 1981, we're going to. 1981! All right. And so, yeah. I'm also taping for my YouTube. So that's why if you see me looking at weird angles. And for the YouTube people, I'm taping my TikTok. Right, so I got 2 cameras set up. Number 9, Breaking the Chains Around Me. Dokken, Breaking the Chains. This is their debut album. Actually, this album I think was recorded like probably in the 70s or something, but it was released in 1980. So as an official release, you got George Lynch. You got a young, before he joined Rat. What was his name? Juan Crocier on bass. Look at Don Dokken's hair. Good album though. It's like it's kind of like I would say it's not metal. I guess a lot of people say it's not metal, man. But they were in the metal section, and he's dressed in metal. Back then, this was considered metal basically. But now it's the melodic hard rock. I love Dokken though. Dokken's one of my all-time favorite bands. I mean, you can't go wrong with their first 3 or 4 albums. And then that was number 9. Number 8, AC/DC. Oh, in 1980, I had Hell's Bells. I think a little bit higher, maybe 4 or 5. I can't remember, but for those about to rock, fire. I used to love that video or the concert footage you'd see. Sometimes you just hear the cannons going off. Yeah, this was Brian Johnson's second album with AC/DC. For those about to rock, we salute you. For those about to headbang, we salute you. Yeah, so AC/DC. For those about to rock. Yeah, I was big on Journey, man. I remember Journey was like, I had the Journey posters everywhere. I had the Atari game. Remember Journey Escape? I'd sit there, I'd put on the record and just play the Atari game for like hours on my Atari. It was called Journey Escape. The premise was the band and your escaping fans, but the fans didn't even look like people. They were like weird looking little creatures or something. What was that? Let's see, 10, 9, 8. Number 7 is Def Leppard's High and Dry. I had their On Through the Night on my last list for 1980. These guys, they put out, back then bands were putting out albums 2 times a year and then at least once a year. So of course, Def Leppard is going to end up on this list. And yeah, so High and Dry. I wouldn't say. Yeah, I wouldn't say. Okay, back with the video, I said this was probably my favorite Def Leppard record. I think Pyromania is always going to be my favorite. That's when I got into Def Leppard. I mean, come on, every song is a winner, but I really like this one over On Through the Night. And yeah, this is just a better record for me. And it actually is funny because I thought it was going to place higher, but once I went through my list, I was like, this actually ended up as number 7. Same with On Through the Night, ended up on number 7 for 1980. All right. Now, a lot of people are going to hate this record or they frown on it, even Kiss themselves don't like it, but I just love this record. I mean, I don't care what people say. If you go on YouTube, there's a guy named Frank Kinstein, like Frank Kinstein, and he actually remixed this entire album, and he added a bunch of cool stuff to it. I mean, it's probably like an hour and a half long, but he added like cool intros and, you know, all sourced from different things that he found on Kiss, you know, with Kiss, different recordings, demos, and things like that. And he found a way to mix them. It's just a phenomenal job he did. He even went on Eddie Trunk and kind of explained his process, but he does a lot. He takes a lot of the Kiss albums and remixes them, remasters them, or just remixes them. But yeah. But come on, I mean, they didn't even tour on this album. But how many remember Solid Gold when Gene's like doing the Indian with the tear? Like, you know, he's like, oh, a little tear come down. Like, there's nothing to be without heroes, and he starts crying. I'm gonna cry now thinking about it. My number, let's see, that was number 6. On number 5, I think it's number 5. Yeah. I don't have it physical. I thought I had the physical copy of Welcome to Hell by Venom. So this was the album they released maybe about 5 years ago. It's like a huge I don't even know what it's called. Something In Nomine Satanis, the next anthology. It's basically an anthology, but you know, it looks like the Welcome to Hell album cover. So I'm just showing this. I wanted something to show, but I had to reorder the Welcome to Hell. I thought I had it before. I don't remember what happened to it. Maybe I lent it out or something and just never got it back. But I just ordered a new copy of it and it hasn't came in yet. But Venom Welcome to Hell is my number 5. I love Venom. I mean, I think when I do 1982, I think was that when Black Metal came out? If so, that's probably going to be on my list as well. So yeah, I know my shirt is 1974, but I couldn't find my Iron Maiden Killers t-shirt. Probably dirty. Anyway, so Venom, Welcome to Hell, but just ignore the title of this album. That's my number 5. Number 4. And if I have time, I'll have a couple of honorable mentions. Too Fast for Love, man. Fuck yeah. This album is just timeless. I mean, this is Motley Crue at their best. You know, this and Shout at the Devil. I always tell the young generation, you know, Motley Crue was a great band. They only had two records in their entire catalog. What about Theater of Pain? What about the Girls, and Dr. Oh, that's not Motley Crue. That's it. Those are imposters. Matter of fact, you know, they kicked out Mick Mars, or Nick didn't really kick him out, but you know, Mick Mars left recently, and he put out this really cool solo record in 2023. In case some of you don't know that, this blows away anything Motley Crue did after their first 2 albums. I think, in my opinion, it's just great. And he started recording this thing about 10 years ago. So, but he put it out in 2023. So Motley Crue, number 4, Too Fast for Love. Too fast for love. Come on, baby. I got only not that long to go. Mob Rules. Heaven and Hell was my number 1 on the 1980, but Mob Rules I love Mob Rules. I mean, it should be number 2, but it's kind of a weird switch around. You'll see this if you watch my 1980, and in this one, you'll see a kind of a neat little twist. So Mob Rules, love this album from start to finish. It's great. Number 2, I got to go with Ozzy Osbourne. Last time I had, I think, Ozzy number 2 and Black Sabbath number 1. No, Ozzy is better than Black Sabbath. Mob Rules. Diary of a Madman. You can't go wrong. I mean, I can listen to this album every single day. I started to do a marathon. I was going to listen to it every day for like 7 days, but I didn't get through it all because of work and everything. But yeah, I mean, freaking Randy Rhoads. My number 1, Iron Maiden Killers. This is a t-shirt I was trying to find earlier, but I couldn't find it. So probably all my pile of dirty laundry. But anyway, I was going to wear that for this episode. But yeah. Right. Iron Maiden Killers. I mean, from start to finish, Wrathchild. Again, I mean, come on. The Song Killers. I mean, Paul Di'Anno. I mean, this is just a beautiful album. I remember being a kid drawing that in school, you know, and I drew a pretty good version of it. Yeah, so that, and then honorable mention is going to be Loudness, the Birthday Eve, which I had to order that because I thought I had it, but I didn't. But that's an honorable mention. I haven't listened to the album enough to put it in my ranking, but also Van Halen, Diver Down. Got into this recently. It's pretty good. All right, so that's my list. Horns up and peace out. Yeah.